Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania has been an ardent supporter of Israel and an outspoken critic of pro-Palestinian protesters. Now, his latest target was reserved for his alma mater, Harvard University. As a commencement speaker at Yeshiva University in Queens Wednesday, he lashed out at Harvard. Let's watch.
I have been profoundly disappointed the way Harvard's inability to stand up for the Jewish community. And for me personally, I do not fundamentally believe that it's right for me to wear.
He also whipped off his Harvard hood. Let's watch that.
Right for me to wear this today.
The Orthodox Jewish University bestowed Fetterman with its Hero of Israel Award, the institution's highest honor.
Fetterman's appearance drew reactions on X. One user wrote, "What an attention-seeking loser. Has his wife left him yet? She was always the best part." Another X user wrote, "He'll be Republican soon, just a matter of time." Meanwhile, a user posted, quote, "When Fetterman said he'd fight for all Pennsylvanians, we just didn't realize he meant Philly suburb native Benjamin Netanyahu." Now, Benjamin Netanyahu lived in a Philadelphia suburb as a child and teen while his father taught at Dropsy College. He also came back to the U.S. to study at MIT and then was at Boston Consulting Group at the same time as Mitt Romney, allegedly, if you match up their CVs. So, yeah, I think Fetterman is someone who we all thought was going to be this progressive, but is not a progressive at all on foreign policy, and I don't think anyone is devastated that he took off his Harvard hood. Oh no, what will we ever do? John Fetterman lost his Harvard hood.
You can make fun of him. Progressives can make fun of him. I understand if I was a left progressive anti-Israel person, I would be obviously pretty disappointed in him. But I'm not, and in fact, he has dramatically improved his favorability ranking. He's like the only Democrat who has made himself more popular in the last year. And I think that's telling, for as much as the left is upset with Biden for his Israel policy, and it might end up, I accept that it might end up costing him in the election. The Democrat who is doing better is the one who has gone out of his way to infuriate the left the most.
Bernie Sanders is a terribly popular senator in a state with a lot of libertarians. And he's someone who is Jewish, who has a pretty progressive stance on Palestine. He's the most popular senator. And he's extremely left-wing and extremely critical of Israel. So I don't know if we can make any conclusions about Fetterman's popularity and how much it's drawing from,
I think mocking college students makes you more popular. I think no one is on the side of the protesters at the college campuses. I think making fun of them is seen as cool. I think the media coverage was hostile, reflecting how American audiences feel, but I could be wrong. That's just my sense of things.
I think Fetterman in 20 years will not be in office because it might be cool among boomers on Facebook reacting to it, but it's definitely not cool
voters.
among They are, and they will die.
Wow.
They will die, and Gen Z will take over.
I don't think he's...
and Fetterman will lose.
So do you think he's actually going to... I'm hearing this increasingly from lefty people that they think he's just out and out going to become a Republican. I don't think he's doing that. I think he's playing a sophisticated political game where Joe Biden needs to win Pennsylvania. And having become more popular in Pennsylvania, Fetterman's going to try to use that to boost Biden in Pennsylvania. That's what I think he's doing.
I don't think he'll become a Republican. I mean, so many people see the Uniparty as an increasingly legitimate political structure, right? There are so many people that are youth voters that are deciding what party to be a part of, and they're like, neither. They're both the same to me. They both don't stand for what I stand for. And so I don't really think it matters if he stays a Democrat. And Democrats tend to get the youth vote. I think his political career will fizzle out as more youth voters become of voting age. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also dislike the Uniparty, and he actually hasn't changed a lot of his policies, like labor and economic policies, remain the same left policies that I don't agree with. So it's mostly his change in perceived change in a right-wing direction. Aside, it's the rhetoric on Israel, and just kind of it's vibes based, which I find interesting that he hasn't changed most of his underlying political views to now be seen as this more right-wing figure. I don't know.
I am interested to see how that shakes out, how we see Fetterman falling on a lot of those economic issues as he cozies up with the establishment Democrats, because that's what we tend to see. We tend to see them come on to the same team on one issue, they're working together, and then slowly they talk about it less and less. I mean, we've even seen members of the squad do this. We see them get into office, be extremely vocal, be this agitator that somehow got on the inside of Congress, and then they speak out less and less as they, work with Nancy Pelosi on whatever, policy or bill. And so Fetterman being so cozy with the very pro-Israel faction of the Democratic Party, I think we could see him joining the sort of Jim Himes Democrats.
More Rising right after this.